right?
Those are things that, yeah, I think a little draft work and from his medicals that were to join.
So you got your
What's going on?
hey, look, I was just telling.
What's going?
So you got your list of guys that you like.
What's going on?
Hey, look, I was just telling everybody, we was just like, man, you like one half Amigos, but a
Man.
What's
what's
good,
going on?
landlord?
So yeah,
All right, so first round guys, for whatever reason they brought Fuaga in on a 30 visit. I don't know how he's going to get to him. I don't know what capital they're going to spend to go up and grab him. But if he were to join the team, I would obviously be thrilled. JC Latham, I like him a lot. And I think you can bump him into guard or replace Terrence Steele with him. And I think he can be a starter for a long time in the league.
I like him too.
I put JPJ. Now, that's kind of got an asterisk on it, and which is weird to say because I think he's the best center in the draft, and I think he's worth the pick at 24. But apparently there's like some concussion stuff going on that they discovered from his medicals at the combine and stuff. So if he were, cleared and they were comfortable with it, I think that would be a great pick.
And did they also say that he had some like hip issues too?
Yeah,
I heard somewhere.
Yeah, I think he tweaked that. That's what he tweaked at the Senior Bowl, right? Why he left after day 2. So, but the list is long, man. I mean, there's other people that stretch into the second round. Fontenot, I'd be cool with him. I'm actually a little lower on him than people. People think he's going to be like a top 15 pick. I don't think he's worth that, but I do like the player. So
that's the one from Washington or the other one?
Washington, yeah.
Yep, Washington, yeah.
Troy?
Left tackle. Yep, Troy.
I love him. I think
best movement in the class, man. Maintains knee bend, all that good stuff. Like, a lot to like about his game.
Yeah, it is. Do you think that he is, I guess, of the tackles, he isn't the number one, probably because he isn't, 6'6", 6'7", possibly?
It's definitely the size, if you ask me. He don't have the prototypical
he's a little smaller
in the length and the arms and all of that. They real technical these days. If your arms ain't long enough, they gonna throw you in the inside as a guard. And I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? We got football players who just ball players, and they might not fit your prototypical bill. And I think that's just kind of like, that's kind of nasty work to me. Like if he's a baller, if he could play tackle, let him play tackle. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
His build's interesting, man, because like his arms are actually like pretty damn long. They're over 34 inches, but he's 3 inches shorter than kind of like the prototypical height.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all about size and height in the NFL. Yeah,
but that height almost helps him since he still has the long reach. Because when you start thinking about things like leverage and pad level, like he's just naturally a little lower. He's still got the length. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that helps you in them trenches.
Yeah, I think that's a positive. I don't see that as a negative.
Yeah. Right, but he's got some things, some warts, I think, as well. He's not very multiple with his recoveries to counters. His depth and his kick slides are almost always, pretty monotone when you start to look at him. He's not a dominant run blocker. He can do it. He moves real well. There's not a block he can't reach, that type of thing. But he's not just going to displace these NFL DTs and things like that. Snap anticipation can be a little slow, things like that. But, I mean, for the most part, those are things that I think can be worked on. He'll continue to get stronger and all of those things as he progresses. So I think he'd be a fine pick.
I think he moves so well that he can make up for some of those flaws, though, in my opinion. Go ahead, Dmv.
I agree. And my question before we move on to the next person on the list, do you think that he's strong enough to play guard? Because for me, I think he's a tackle. I don't even think he's one of those guys you slide into being a guard, personally.
I wouldn't do it. I think his movement is what makes him a tackle. Like we discussed the functional length and all that. I think you slide him inside, you might start to see some problems on play strength, things like that, which is kind of where I'm at with Graham Barton, who is on the other list. the do not draft at 24 list, which everybody in Cowboys Nation, I mean everybody in Cowboys Nation,
Everybody wants
thrilled.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that because I need to know why you said no. But let's keep it with who you like, and then because I know you got a lot of people. This is why I wanted to discuss this. You got a lot of people on the naughty list. So so just name like 3 more on your yes list, and then we'll go to the naughty list.
You want to keep going with offensive linemen or?
Just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, give us a receiver that landlord. Is there any receivers on that list?
That's my jam right there. Man.
Absolutely. Where'd my thing go?
Hold on, it's receivers on the do not list. He's saying.
I got receivers on the do not list, but if Roma Dunze for whatever reason CeeDee Lamb'd his way down the board, I think he's the best route runner in the class and could be wide receiver 1 in like a lot of draft classes.
They got Rome going like 10 though. Like that would
they
be
got everybody going before the Cowboys draft though.
But you know what? They've been so wrong the last couple of years, and people have been taking whoever it is that they want, and then people have been going crazy. So I think you got to be able to prepare for some things like that to happen these days.
That's why they brought in Fuaga.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've been thinking nefariously. Like I wanted to be petty. That's the only way I feel like I can get what I want, which is a receiver. So now I'm looking at it like that's the only way it can happen. It'll have to be a CeeDee Lamb situation. Did y'all hear what Stephen Jones said yesterday? He spoke about Jalen Tolbert, like, they looking for him to step up. That's my guy.
To take over for Gallup.
Yeah, that's my guy. You know what
I'm starting to believe? I'm starting to believe when Steven say that stuff, like I think that probably means like we're looking at receiver.
You can't trust them. You can't trust.
But also too, Stephen Jones says things around the draft to try to get teams to throw teams off on what they really want. You know what I mean? Because we know that Jerry talked too much when it comes to like, trying to give away the draft plans and stuff, and you can't do that. So I think Stevens, of the smarter mindset of saying, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but basically trying to throw the other teams off by throwing that out there.
Somebody got to keep it close to the vest. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, somebody got to.
Yeah,
somebody got to.
Jerry be like, "Here's my list." Oh, damn.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, damn. I dropped the list.
The Cowboys big boys. Hey, my bad.
Hey, he had one of them little scrolls. He had one of them little scrolls that they used to have in the old days.
You got one of
this series don't do it again, and it's just going to be a photo. They're going to Photoshop a picture of that from when he was at the combine with all the scribbles on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they just gave it to him this year.
You already know he gonna have a pen that you got to dip in the ink with the felt at the back. He gonna have the old school pen and everything.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So
I ain't gonna lie. I was just thinking that was the only way I could get it now. Because after I heard them comments, I'm thinking it gotta be like, ain't no way possible this dude supposed to drop this far, and now we just gotta do it. Like that's the only way I think I can really get my type of receiver right now. What you think, DMV? Is it still hope for me?
Yeah, I think it's hope, bro. I mean, like I've been saying, and look, I've been throwing little nuggets out there, hoping. Like you talked about my guy today in Blake Corn, which we'll talk about. Yeah. But I've been throwing nuggets. Like people been asking. Vach asked me, like, what's your number one pick that you would flip through hoops for? That you know what I'm saying? You running around the room. Brian Thomas Jr. is that for me. Brian Thomas Jr. I feel like. And he might be on. I don't know if he's on Ben's do not or do list, but I feel like that's our Randy Moss to Greg Ellis situation, where somebody that tall getting behind the defenders like he does. I just think we never had nothing like that before.
It's like your responsible pick and your irresponsible pick.
Hey, I said sometimes you just can't be responsible no more, man. It ain't no fun.
Fast and Furious, man. That's my hit the Nas pick right there. Like,
because I'm looking at it like this. That's a skill set that we've been lacking for years, y'all.
Brian Thomas Jr.
We ain't had nobody of that ilk like in a long time, like Dez, but we had the back end of Dez. Somebody who
Dez wasn't that though. Theirs
not like
wasn't
that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like
Yeah.
physically imposing to the point where they can high point any football. That's who Brian Thomas is. And Dak ain't had that. And I was telling Boss Cowboys, shout out to Boss. I was telling him, like, man, when you look at the way Dak played with Michael Gallup, that's what he desired. He wants somebody like that. He was throwing the ball up like Michael Gallup is 6'4", like jumping
Well,
out the gym.
Michael Gallup used to come down with those, but before he got
did.
hurt, and
Yeah.
then now it's like he was kind of a shell of himself. I don't think he ever really recovered. But
you see, he wanna play like that though. He wanna play like that, and you can tell a lot of people try to think that Dak just wanna throw to the tight end. I think he's just looking for that skill set. Like he wanna be able to high point the football. That's all.
Yeah.
And you got something to say? Oh, go ahead, E2. Sorry.
And I think that like he started getting that going with Cooks in that back corner. You know what I'm saying? Like that you know. But if you get somebody like he said, but if you get a high pointer like that, maybe one of the tight ends could turn into that. Maybe one of these young guys that we got, they got the height to do it. I mean,
we know CD got ability, but it's a difference when you like, okay, we in the red zone. We finna fade this dude. And you know, DBs are not, they can't match that height, bro. They just can't do it. That's just so easy money, man. I can see Dak. And because it was a situation where Dak put the ball on the money. Like, I can't remember what game, but it was one game.
Arizona, he did for CD, and CD was fighting with the ref.
I'm talking about Dak threw it. It was so risky, but it was so precise. And he hit him right there where it needed to be, but CD just couldn't make the catch. I was like, dang, if that was a big body, he would have posted up. He would have turned around, posted up, and made sure he was the only one to be able to catch that ball. So CD versatile, he can do everything, but it's just certain stuff that, you know, is not his strongest suit. Like, and being a possession type receiver, you know what I'm saying? He's that, but I'm talking about like a post up, like a power forward,
50-50 ball receiver.
Yeah. And he can do it, but you know, that ain't what we love CD for. You know what I'm saying?
So Ben, what was Brian Thomas on your naughty list or on your yes sir list?
He's on my yes sir list, man. That's
a
rare combination of size and speed.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
A rare combination of size and speed. Man,
and then he know how to be a number 2 already too. That's a good.
I mean, at some point you're going to need another vertical stretcher, right? Like Cooks isn't going to be here forever. BTJ absolutely knows how to do that, and I think he knows how to do a lot more than his LSU film suggests. You know, like they were like death by 9 route down the seam team. You know, it's just burn them deep and go, and then let Daniels run free, man. So, but I think when you watch him, I think he can run a lot more nuanced routes and a lot of those short and intermediate routes. He just wasn't asked to do. So I think he can be even more complete than his like draft profile is going to suggest. I like him a lot. Big, physical, aggressive at the catch point, great control over his body. And so, yeah, would not complain about that one bit.
Absolutely. Okay, so give us one more on your yes sir list, and then we're gonna move on to your naughty list. Like, give us a surprise one that like I don't know, like I'm thinking like they haven't shown us any inkling of this position, possibly. Haven't shown us any inkling of this position, possibly.
Well, all I did on that one was post positions of need.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
But I mean, I could do like Trey Taylor, safety out of Air Force in the late rounds. Cousin of Ed Reed.
I love Trey Taylor. Ooh, yeah, I love Trey Taylor. I love him as a player. I actually know the DB coach that was at Air Force. He's at UVA now. Shout out to my boy Jerome Cox, and he coached him. And Air Force was one of the top tackling teams in the nation when he was there. I think 2 years ago. And Trey Taylor, if you watch his tape, man, he's like a missile all over the place.
Out of a cannon.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been fighting with the idea of this team taking the safety because Zim is very, very big on having 2 really good safeties, and these guys might not fit his mold. You know what I'm saying?
I
They
like the
need to
guy
be
out of USC too. What's his name?
Bullock, Kalen Bullock.
Yeah, I like his build. He remind me of the guy out of Baltimore. But I
Kyle
thought
Hamilton.
about safety earlier. But I just don't see a way it can sneak in there. I just don't see it.
Nah, they're
It's sneaky
gonna
though.
battle with BPA versus needs in this class, man. And that's
Yeah.
honestly why half the people that are on my do not, I hope they don't take them list. That's half the reason why they're there, is because I think it's just a huge BPA draft for me. Everyone says there's a ton of needs. I think they stripped it down to the young studs, and they're transitioning into a new contract cycle for all of their key players. And I think they're, eating the chunk of the money now so that they can do what they need to do in the future. And so to me, that suggests take the best damn football players in the draft and
Absolutely.
move on down the road. But there are some glaring needs on the roster as well if you want to, improve key parts of your team. So
I think DMV agreed with me because that's what I wanted to ask you about this. Me and DMV kind of agreed that, like, I think we're gonna find ourselves in a situation to where maybe in the first round, it's the best player available is a receiver. It could be in the second round, the best player available is a receiver. So if you against
probably will.
receiver, look, if you against receiver, you really want your team to do it wrong because that, you know what I'm saying? It's quite possible it could be receiver in the first 3 rounds, the best player available. And you'll have to look dead in that receiver eyes and say no.
Hey, landlord, you were the one who brought this up to me, and I had to think about it. It happened in Green Bay, and we saw it happen last year. Mike will abandon that damn run so
He's
fast.
not gonna run the ball, y'all. I just want y'all to know that he's not. That's not in his nature, man. It's almost like Kellen Moore, but he got a better. He better with it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's more responsible with it. Cause
But
like
wait, but didn't they have a run game when he was with the Packers? Because I remember
For 1
them
year with Eddie
using
Lacy. For
yeah,
1
Eddie
year.
Lacy, and I remember when they had John
They
Coons when they were using him as the fullback
he was
position.
a
Like
blocker though. He was
yeah,
a
he was
blocker.
hey, it got so bad in Green Bay that they put a damn receiver at running back for
Ty
years.
Montgomery win it.
They put a
Yeah,
oh
receiver.
yeah,
yeah.
oh
Because you
yeah,
gotta
I
look.
remember that project.
Mike McCarthy made his bones with all the receivers, y'all. What I told people, I keep preaching for receivers, man. I want better for us. We got some okay receivers right now. I like Brandon Cooks. I wanted more though. I'm sorry, I wanted more. So I look
That's
at
why I had
this.
to
I
bring you
say
on
this.
today, bro.
Look, I say this. Look, I'm trying to give us the Dallas that got CD late. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give us that same offense. But now look, you got a better Dak now. Just imagine Dak with that same firepower, and he's a better Dak, and you got a better defense.
And also keep in
Answer
mind this
this.
too. CD Lamb in his first year, didn't he hit 4,000? Pretty sure he did.
He hit. He went 9. He went 9, and he was the third option.
Yep, he did. So yeah,
And
go
Dak
ahead,
was
E2.
hurt. Dak was hurt, and
I
he
was.
still hit 9.
That's true.
I'm trying to give y'all that firepower, man. Cause look around, bro. They got them over there in the Eagles. They do. We don't like them. The only reason I'm not too high on them is because I don't have too much faith in Jalen. But they receiving core, they receiving core is nasty, bro.
It is.
They are.
Speaking
So
of Ty Montgomery, dude, you seen that they brought in Tyrone Tracy from Purdue, running back?
I didn't see that, but talk about it though, because I kind of like Tyrone Tracy a little bit. He's not one of my favorite backs in the draft, but I like him a little bit.
Only been a running back for like a year.
Oh wow.
He's a receiver, and he converted a lot like Montgomery, but he did it a year early instead of a year late. And when you run their RAS side by side, identical, man. Identical players.
Oh boy! So do you know what that means? We slinging that rock, baby.
we throwing the ball,
Based off
y'all.
on-
We throwing the ball. Look, if we know he gonna throw the ball, what's the best thing to do? Help him
Get a
throw the ball.
receiver.
Just get a receiver. Get you some
receiver.
pass blockers and rock out, bro. Because he's gonna do it, y'all. He is.
What if we get? I don't know if Benson is out of the question, or Jonathan Brooks in the second round. I know Jonathan Brooks had that ACL, but the Cowboys doctor. You know how that is.
Can we get him in
Ben,
the
I bet
third?
Jonathan Brooks is Jonathan Brooks on your naughty list.
On my naughty list. So is Benson.
Benson too?
Mainly because they're day 2 picks, man. I don't want them to spend
Okay,
day
got
2
you.
capital on running back.
Okay,
I
you had
want a
him on your
wide
naughty list for
receiver in the
day one.
second day,
Okay,
so I ain't
okay,
I ain't
all
mad at you.
No,
I
no,
ain't
I
mad
don't
No,
at
have him on.
I meant the second round. I meant pick 56.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want them to wait till day 3 to get a running back.
Oh, to day
And
3.
for a couple
Oh,
reasons.
Day
I
three?
think that there's better
Yeah.
players like for the core of your football team for the future that's going to be available in the first 3 rounds. And I like the top end talent at running backs in next year's draft a lot better. And if they go high this year, I don't think they will next year. So I'm team wait it out a year and roll with what
So
you
what
got.
round you talking about? Fifth?
Get your 5th round pick. If
I'm about
Kamani
to say,
Vidal is
because
I'm
there,
gonna push.
it
I'm gonna
can't
push
be
back on
third.
that. Unless we
We
trade
don't have
back
a fourth.
and we get in
Yeah.
fourth.
you think they're gonna drop that far then?
Now, because you know what, last year, see, Ben, this is where I'll push back. Last year we tried to do that and we ended up with Deuce.
Mm. I call them little legs.
We tried to do that last year, and then we were
I
forced.
think they stretched this year, bro. I just do. I think they stretched this year, and there's some day 3 guys that I really like. And they brought in a lot of day 3 guys in their 30 visits. They brought in 8 running backs in their 30 visits. Half of them were day 3 guys, and none of them were Vidal, which I was upset about. But
So let me ask you a question: Is Blake Corum a day 2 or a day 3 guy? We're gonna talk about Blake on here. We're gonna talk. I don't care what they say. We're gonna talk about Blake.
I got him with a day 2 grade, but I got him with a day 3 projection just because he's a little older and he's little.
Hey, he little, but he pack a punch.
I hear you. I just don't want a 5'7" power back.
He
Man,
fast
he
too
different.
though. He fast
Not
too.
great
He
speed fast,
different.
and he's not zigzag quick. He's got a good cut step, but
I ain't gonna lie, he's so precise with it, and
Yeah.
he's decisive with the way he runs.
good
I
running
like
back,
that.
man.
I like
I
that.
like Corum. I don't like him for the Cowboys.
I can feel that though.
I can feel that, but what I like about him is what we lack, and that's a running back that knows how to press the line of scrimmage with the anticipation of what a linebackers are going to be. So, Landlord, I had an opportunity to watch what you were talking about earlier, and he's bending and making cuts before everything is forming.
Before it even developed. Yeah.
That's
That's
vision.
special.
Yeah.
That's special right there. Because that's
That is special. You
anticipation
need that.
with your run. Yeah.
And
Because
then
you
that's
give
where
people
yep.
credit for
Great
both
vision,
sides.
man.
You give people credit for being patient and being anticipatory how you run it. So he doing both. I seen both in the film session I did earlier.
And there's only 2 other backs that I really think have that sense. I think Trey Benson has that sense, and I think that Ray Davis has that as well.
I've got Ray Davis going literally like at the same spot as Corum, but I like him a lot more.
I can understand
he
that.
a little bigger, right? He bigger though.
Yeah.
Right.
He faster too. He bigger, he faster. Is Ray older?
Yeah, Ray's older.
Yeah, Ray's older. But here's the thing: we only need a running back for 4 years.
Yeah,
you're not drafting
another
him for a second contract.
Exactly. And that's what people have to understand is that you're not trying to get running backs to last for 10 years anymore. At this point, you're trying to get somebody, you're trying to get juice. You're trying to get juice to your backfield until you can get some more juice.
I was about to say you ain't marrying them, you dating them these days.
That's it.
You dating the running back position.
You dating them and keeping them moving.
Yeah.
Ray Davis is like almost exactly 1 year older than Blake. Both their birthdays are on November. Ray's 24, Blake's 23. So
absolutely. So who else is on that naughty list, man? Because I know I asked you for about 15 minutes or whatnot, and it's been a little bit over, but you know.
Good. I'm chilling, brother. I'm just gonna go back to finishing some work once we're done here. Let me find it. Hold on. Finishing some work once we're done here. Let me find it. Hold on. We wanted to talk about Graham Barton. I know that one.
Yes. I gotta hear your why you have him. No, I gotta hear that one.
Because of the fact that everybody else wants him right there, 24.
No, that's not why. Man, I can't find it. My list of
I could tell you why I wouldn't want him there because I'm sick to death of hearing about position flex. And sometimes you just want somebody to be dominant at what the hell it is that they do.
That's a big part of it. Look, I like almost everything about Graham Barton's game. He's not going to play tackle in the NFL, though. His reach is short, and he compensates for it, and it gets him in trouble. And people think you move him inside, that's going to fix all those issues. But there's more issues than just that for me. I don't like the position switch as a first-round pick. I think it's risky, and I think there's less risk if you were to go a different direction. That's part of it. Second part of it, one thing Graham Barton struggles with is core strength / anchor, sinking that ass and staying in control.
So that means he can't play center either then.
Well, that's my point. Is because when 260-pound defensive ends in college are giving you anchor problems, and I see pretty consistently on tape. Like, don't get me wrong, if he gets extended on you and he's driving his feet, your ass going in the dirt. Like I said,
I see him locking up people sometimes too, though. I'm gonna have to go take another look.
Sure, and his grip strength is next level. It's so strong, and his movement is top tier. A lot to like. But when I see these anchor issues against 260-pound defensive ends in college, you want to move him inside against 310-pound defensive tackles in the NFL? I don't.
You need that base then.
I get that.
And that's literally it for me. I don't want my pocket pushed, and I don't want him getting bullied inside. I think that
you don't need your center getting pushed back into Dak either. That's no bueno.
That's actually when Dak is at his worst, honestly. Last year, I thought Dak was a little bit better because look, you had Tyler in that guard, so that pocket, some of the like Dak can make up for bad tackle play. We've seen that.
I was just about to say he basically used to it because Tyler, be honest, was just he was just pretty much doing the same thing.
Shit.
But the guard play was A1 for the most part. Actually, Zach Martin probably was probably the worst of the two guards this year. Obviously,
crazy.
In my opinion.
Dmv a grown man for saying that, boy. You're a grown man for saying that. Because it's the truth, but people don't want to talk about that.
Look, man, I think another truth behind it, though, is a good coach and a good plan. I think he can learn those things. I don't think he has it right now. I think it's a question mark for him to develop that. But I think with some core strength training and some technique things that he could definitely fix those issues at the next level if he were to be bumped inside. And I mean, that's part of the draft is developing those players that way. But again, at 24, I'm good. We trade back. Okay. I'm not going to complain.
I made a tweet today, and this actually made me think that I want probably either the line to kind of stay. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I had to think about it. I made a tweet that the last time we saw Tyler Smith at tackle, they moved Bosa to the other side. The last two games we saw Tyler Smith play tackle, he dominated San Francisco and the Buccaneers in the playoffs. He was starting to really get that. The one thing that I know about him is we've seen him against top-tier pass rushers, and we've seen what he's been able to do. Listening to Ben and knowing what I do, there's a lot of question marks about these tackles out there. We don't know if Mims is going to make it a whole year. Troy probably is not going to make it to us. Latham will be on the right side. Most of these guys are right side players, so they'd have to switch over to the left side. There's a lot more question marks than there is if I move Tyler to left tackle, even though his best position is guard. You know what I'm saying?
That's right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, I think he can be an all-pro tackle. I do. And two, I think a bigger need is at right tackle than left tackle because of that.
Yikes.
No, it is, but the problem is that your contracts The
He's got
contracts aren't
one
gonna
year
say
where
that.
he's got 1 year left where it stings, and then it don't sting anymore.
So you don't see him doing better this year.
Terrence Steele.
Terrence Steele.
Oh no, I think he would. I doubt he goes downwards, man.
You know what I think Terrence Steele issue is? It ain't him. It's the offensive line coach. Not playing him to his strengths. That's what I believe.
I don't think I don't think he was strong. I really think he was struggling on one leg last year. That's
I
just
about to say
me.
I think it's the injury. That's what I feel like
Combination of
he
both.
came back too early. We know he a workout warrior. He's a hard working guy. He probably like how you feel, Terrence? I'm good. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
They're
I don't
always gonna
know.
say that because
Yeah,
they
they
don't want to. They
always
don't want
gonna
to
say that.
sound like they soft. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. You know how we are. Like we could be
Yeah,
hurting and they be like, "Yeah, I'm good, baby. I'm
I'm
straight."
good. I'm
You
good. I'm
know
all
what I'm
right.
Yeah,
saying? I
and it's funny you say that because Gallup was struggling with his one leg, and then he worked to get real strong, and then all of a sudden he forgot to catch the damn ball. Worked so hard on getting strong,
and then
he
he lost
forgot.
his touch.
You
But yeah,
cock strong, but you can't catch the ball.
yeah, that's how it
So
be, man. So I think he just came back a little too early or something.
yeah, absolutely. So Ben, give us one more on that naughty list, man. And I know, like, shoot, I like to keep things at about an hour, man. We could, go around the round table, talk about what we want to see for the first round, and we can get up out of here. So, what you got for us, Ben? Who's on the naughty list that give us a big name?
Which one you want? You want Adonai Mitchell or you want Tyler Guyton?
Mm. I want Adonai Mitchell because I want to
Ooh.
see if we on the same page. I like him, but he got some alarming things that I don't like.
He takes plays off.
Don't want
He's
that.
got character things and takes plays off, and just little things like that. That where he's probably gonna go, I wouldn't want to waste the pick on it. You know, things that would be less concerning to me on day 3 or whatever are things
Yeah.
that I don't want to have to worry about on day 1 or even day 2.
What I seen that I didn't like about him, man, it was a couple of situations where he got his quarterback in trouble because he wasn't attacking the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. Out of my receivers, I played receiver many moons ago. I know one thing: when the ball in the air, it's yours. You got to go get it. Like the quarterback ain't throwing the ball to you; he's just throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? You got to go get it. So that got to be in your mindset. And there was plenty of times where I seen him waiting on the football. That's a bad trait because now the DB all over your shoulders. What if the DB attacking the ball and you waiting on the ball? That mean that's an interception. That mean that's a pass breakup. So I seen that a little too often from Adonai Mitchell. And
Yeah,
he
he
got
got
all the
some.
tools though. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the concentration drops are a thing. That it's like, dude, quit dropping the easy ones.
Yeah.
Um, and
Focus,
his
focus.
contested catch. I mean, we just went on a whole rant about how we need the guy that's going to, dominate at the catch point.
It's true.
It's not
So he
even.
got this size for no reason.
I
Because
mean,
he
it's
got the
cool.
size.
He's got the acrobatic ability and the cool, throw it
Yeah.
over my head and I'm gonna go
Yeah.
get it stuff and whatnot. But
Circus
like
catch.
a true contested catch, like his grip strength around the ball, things like that, it's just not. It doesn't work out for him usually. So that's a concern.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And
that's an excellent one. So right now we're gonna take a chance where everybody goes around, says their number one person. I think I already said who I want at 24. So we'll start with you, E2. Who's the number one player that you want at 24 in this draft?
I mean, Ben kind of hurt my feelings. I'm at the point now where like, fuck it, let's just step back, drop back.
I like who you like, man. That's what it's all about. Everybody's got their own board.
I like Jackson Power Johnson because I think you need that center there to take the place of Biotish. That's a safe pick for me. But if that's not there, again, we talked about guys dropping, right? Hell, if you ask me what my wild pick would be is I don't think he's ever going to drop that far. But hell, we didn't think we would get CeeDee Lamb either, right? Um, hell, if Rome is there, go get Rome. If he happens to drop, go get it. But I feel like if Jackson Powers Johnson's not there, if and the BPA doesn't make sense right there, then I would say just drop back and get a 4th round draft pick because we don't have a 4th. So get you some picks.
All right. I go with you, Ben.
Depending on what's there, of course, I think everyone's on the same page that we need more draft capital. Unless something glaring is there for me, I'm team trade back. If I'm forced to pick, I'm gonna go with something different because truthfully, I think O-line's probably the best pick at 24. But if someone were to fall like a Quinyon Mitchell or a Johnny Newton or Byron Murphy, really one of those 2 top DTs.
Okay, I like that. I like it.
I'd like either. I just want a solid, checks all the boxes football player. If we stick and pick at 24,
I'm not messing with no DTs. I'm sorry.
No. Oh, not a second. Is it a Mozzie thing or what?
No, it's a. I don't feel like it's an instant impact. I think it'll take them a year or 2. I don't care what DT you draft. That's a future pick, in my opinion. So I stay away from it. I'm scared of a DT.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm kind of under the impression that this thing's kind of winding towards a better future anyway.
Don't say
what they did. I mean, they kept what they stripped it down to the young studs, let some of the not so young studs people walk, and contracts around the corner. So I don't mind something like that. But I think those 2 guys specifically at DT, I don't think, I mean, to be like one of the best DTs in the league thing, you're right. But I think they can contribute right away. I don't think they're going to give you a Mozzie Smith level of production in year 1 if they were to
You like them better than Mozzie already? Like as 2 prospects side by side?
I like them both pass rushing better than Mozzie. And I like them both as much. Yeah. So I guess yes. See, Mozzie's a complicated case though, man, because it's hard to say because what happened with him is so weird. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still holding out hope that he's going to beef up and get back to doing what he does. What they didn't have him to do. You know what I mean?
So if you are, then
I just think we have a sour taste in our mouth. I just think, like what Landlord was talking about, we got a sour taste in our mouth, not just with the defensive tackle position, but just with Michigan guys in general.
Hey, but they dogs though. They dogs this year.
Yeah, Michigan, I agree.
That's probably about. Hey, look, there's probably about 3 or 4 dudes from Michigan that I would draft this year, maybe 3 or 4. And 2 of them being on the offensive line.
What do you like, Junior Colson?
I love Junior Colson. Absolutely.
I do too. He did make my naughty list. Simply,
linebacker.
Again, he's one of the ones that I think where you'd have to pick him. Maybe I'd rather pick him around later type of deal. And that's
so you would rather get him in round 3 and not round 2. More than likely.
But I will say, right before this show, everyone's been giving me so much hell about it that I mean, he has a 3rd round grade for me. Like he just does. But I went back and looked. I'm like, okay, what's in the way of saying that I can't bump my round projection on him up? And I was like, what's seriously stopping me from doing it other than my own, pettiness, right? And there really wasn't anything. So I did bump him up to a 2nd round projection. So I will say that even though I did have him on that list, if they were to take him in the 2nd round, I'm not complaining.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing about Colson. Because of what Steven said today and what I was thinking, what if they do more of a 3-backer set and he's your Sam and Overshown is your Will? Whereas that's more of a, you don't have to go so much nickel as much because Overshown was kind of, doing a little bit of DB stuff at Texas anyway. And that's what they were kind of bringing them in to be as a Will.
They're gonna do that, dude, because they Dan Quinn live and died by the big nickel, cover 1 and cover 3, the underalignments, that whole thing. create pressure, take the ball away. He lived and died by it. Zimmer doesn't do that. Zimmer matches personnel. He fluctuates his fronts between even and odd man. He stacks the strong side of the line of scrimmage, all those things. And so I think, nickel is going to be your base. It's going to be a regular nickel, not a big nickel. It's going to be a corner instead of safety, right? But he's absolutely going to, if they're going to try and hit us with a bunch of heavy personnel, we're going to match it. There's going to be an extra linebacker on that field.
I was about to say, what do you do with Clark then?
Right.
Well, specials. You got specials. Specials.
Time out. Because this why I get frustrated at. Look, this is why I get mad at. Because look, y'all gonna say y'all want not y'all in particular, but the Joneses and stuff. They gonna say they want to grow our young players, but then you gonna make me miss out on a special receiver because you don't want to let Devon Clark grow. You see what I'm saying? Hey. I'm not finna sacrifice.
He was a 5th-round pick.
Devon Clark, bro. I'm not finna.
He was a 5th-round pick.
I'd rather be lacking in a little bit in linebacker than sacrifice my phenomenal receiver, bro. I'm sorry. We can't be great at every position, bro.
We've been linebacker lacking, so
you see what I'm saying? We can't be great at every position, bro. So, we gotta realize somewhere gonna be lacking. We gotta give up something. We gotta sacrifice somewhere. We're gonna have to.
I kind of feel like you get a Colson to play that Sam role. Then you're more like you're closer to being a great linebacker core than you are at getting a great receiver.
I'd rather have Peyton Wilson.
You ain't got no defense.
But I don't know I don't know Peyton. So if you get Peyton, I think Peyton's more of a will. I think Edger's more of a will. You think Peyton's a Sam?
Peyton can play all three. He can play Mike, Sam, or Will. That's just who he is. He can quarterback that defense. He's a green dot guy. He's smart, instinctual. He's my highest graded football player at his position in this draft. But he's not a first-round projection for me because of the injuries. Okay, but I would absolutely roll that dice in a second. That is a huge upside.
Is Peyton like a linebacker DB type of guy?
Nah, he's a linebacker, bro. He's lean. He's tall.
He had 3 interceptions last year. He's great in coverage. But he's not really a DB at all. No, he's a linebacker, and he'll go get your ass too. He'll bring the wood. Like there's not much to. He's a little slim. So if a linebacker or if a offensive lineman does climb to the second level and he's not already ahead of them because he's a quick processor, if they get hands on him, he struggles a little bit to disengage. That's about the only knock outside of the injuries that I can find.
I ask all y'all one question, though? I just got one question. Okay. We know we ain't got no defensive tackles, bro. Are they going to solve stopping the run issue? Because if not, give me a wide receiver, bro. I'm going back to wide receiver. If they're not going to stop the run for us. Because, look, we still don't have no defensive tackles. We hope Mozzie can do it.
I think you got to draft. I think the solution is to get a 3-tech in the draft, and I think post June you're looking for a 1-tech to back Mozzie up. That's what I would do personally. Because you got Chauncey, you got Chauncey on this roster, you got Fehoko on this roster, and they're gonna have every opportunity to play.
I actually like Chauncey.
Drafting one of these linebackers as a rookie is not going to fix the run problem instantaneously, but you have to start somewhere.
You do. You got to start somewhere, and we still don't know what Overshown is going to give you either.
We don't, and we count him like he a real player already.
I kind of feel like stopping. Go ahead. My bad. I was just gonna say, I think part of stopping the run on the other side is being able for us to actually run the ball on our side, in my opinion. Because if we're throwing the ball around, you know what I'm saying, we scoring quick and all that type of stuff, you know, on the other side makes it real easy for
defense
them.
Out. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fair. You know, time management's a big part of that. Cowboys did pretty good in time of possession splits last year, though. You got to give them it wasn't that bad, but I hear what you're saying, because if you score quick, you're going to be tired. That's the linebacker problem right now, though, is Overshown and Clark, your 2 young linebackers, are both wills. And the one Mike or Sam that you have on your team is on a 1-year deal.
And then you got to figure out what you're going to do.
I don't
And they
like
got to
that.
figure out how
Which
he.
is why you're saying Peyton Wilson, and that's why I'm also saying Junior Colson, because I think
Right.
Junior
And
can slot to
honestly,
your Mike the next year.
yeah, and that's part of the reason why I went ahead and bumped his projection up out of my pettiness as well, is because that
So
is
what
true.
round
He's one
y'all
of the
going linebacker?
Junior Colson, I will go second round at 56 if he's there.
I
Not
think you
by
gotta go
receiver for
linebacker.
me.
I think you gotta go linebacker and run, or I think linebacker and running back. You gotta day 2 considerations, high day 2 consideration for
The
certain.
only way I get a wide receiver in that situation is first round.
But that's why I'm also trade back, because if I'm trade back, I can get all of it.
That's the
I
only
can
way
get
I'll
all
do
of
it.
it.
I see a scenario where they could trade back though if what they want is not there, and they're just looking at based on what they
Landlord gonna be
need.
sick if we trade back, because somebody
I
trading up
know.
to get a receiver. Somebody trading up to get a receiver, bro.
Well,
Ain't
you
trading
already
up for no
know.
quarterback. Nobody
You already
trading up to
know.
get no damn Penix.
Nah,
Don't
Penix
nobody
or
want no
Bo Nix.
Penix.
they gonna
They got
trade up to
Penix.
get Brian Thomas, and we gonna be sick.
They got
Yep.
Penix going in the
Yep.
second round at this
Yep.
point in the draft.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a receiver. Somebody trading up for.
But
Him
look
and
how
Edric
boneheaded that'll
Cooper.
be, man. That's all I'm saying. I can state my piece so I can stop before I get mad. Look, listen.
So
All
yeah,
I'm saying is you don't need all pros all over your O line. Nobody has that. I don't know why we feel like we got to draft first round linemen every year. Nobody got all pros, all 5
Since
players.
we
since
drafted
Travis
a lot of
Frederick,
linemen
that's what
last
we
year,
do.
and
You see,
we had a lot of undrafted free agents. We got a lot of linemen. We do.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, I'm tired of being responsible, especially if it's not gonna work. It's still not gonna work, and I just sat up here and got a tackle every time. Like, okay, if that's
Shout
not
out
if
to the sister
we don't have
Jazz.
to have all Pro Bowlers, all pros on the O line, nobody got that. Okay, we can settle for that. Then when it comes to linebacker, okay, if they're not gonna fix the run game, bro, I'm just saying, give me a receiver. And then, okay, I'm not a fan of getting defensive tackles young in the draft, bro. I was against getting Mozzie last year. I said no defensive tackle at all.
You just want to
We
sign all
shoulda-
your DTs off free agency?
We should have got that in free agency, bro. That was
Yeah,
my
bro.
whole thing.
I want like veteran 5-year fat guys, bro.
Yes,
that
we
have
need
5
grown
years,
men.
5 off seasons that
Don't
understand
on that Grover Stewart train.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
grown men. Like I was. That's what really got me feeling so down about this year, because it was a bunch of defensive tackles in free agency and we did nothing. So you still gonna be hard headed and try to address this in the draft. You still gonna do it. Like you said, screw all of that. I'm doing it anyway. That's wild, man. That's wild. And it's
So
irresponsible.
landlord.
What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the
landlord.
same thing
We
over and over.
We already know your pick is a receiver. Which one of them is it? Who's your 24?
I think it's Brian Thomas Jr. He the only person I feel like that'll make that CeeDee Lamb situation. Cause like I can deal with a second round receiver, but I don't think they'll do it in the second round. You see what I'm saying?
Would you take BTJ over Roma Dunze if you were to fall?
I don't see Ron falling at all though. I don't even think that's realistic. That's why I stayed away from him.
Lamb wasn't realistic.
But CeeDee
Well,
Lamb went
that's
in
why I
this
just
draft
said.
though.
That's what I
CeeDee
said.
Lamb went in this draft though. You see what I'm saying?
You know,
high.
I don't know. I don't know that I trust Mike with Rome, but I know Mike knows exactly what to do with Brian Thomas Jr. with his body type and the slants and stuff. I think Mike knows exactly what to do with him.
Well,
that's the only reason I
Rome
say
needs
that.
to do. What is it that Rome can't do?
No, he can do everything. I'm just talking about. I know Mike really likes that big frame in that X spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what about Malachi Corley, who they brought in?
I don't want no slot guy. I'd rather put Brandon Cooks in the slot.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks
I like Corley, but it would have to be where he's the best player on the board for me to take him, if that makes sense.
The only thing about Corley to me, will he demand snaps over Brandon Cooks? Listen, my idea, I want the receiver that I draft, I want him to walk through the door knowing that he's number 2. I want him to just blow Brandon Cooks out the door, because I don't want it to be no politics. I want it to be like, okay, this the guy.
Yeah.
And
Jalen Tolbert's having a better camp than this dude.
Other stuff. Nope. Because if they draft him with a first round or a second round, And think about it, we ain't got no receivers in the second round. Outside of who was our first round receiver, the last first round receiver was Dez. Then I guess you can count Amari. But other than that, we ain't had not
we draft
one
receivers,
second round receiver, bro.
When we draft them in the first, we hit.
We gotta use.
Just like linemen. Yep, we do.
We gotta use.
You're right.
And guess what we've been doing ever since then? We've been drafting receivers in the third. You ain't betting the house on the third round player. You're not. So that's why we've been struggling. We treated Michael Gallup like a number one. That was a mistake. We paid him like he was a real receiver. That was a mistake after the injuries. So if you put some real draft capital into a wide receiver, especially in this draft, we're going back into something wonderful, something great.
That would be fun. And they definitely have some longevity there. The reason why I asked about Corley is he's actually a guy that's on my naughty list, so to quote unquote.
Yeah.
But that's it. Honestly, that's it just about any round before like round 7.
Wow.
I think the thing with Corley is that I don't think people are getting right now. This dude was the most productive screen, picked up the most screen yards in college football last year.
We suck at screens.
Well, that was for a reason, man. He struggles to create separation. He's not a diverse or a very good route runner in general, in my opinion. And on top of that, it's paired with catching the ball in tight spaces or in traffic, just contested catches in general. Not very good at that either. So you have a guy that struggles to create separation and struggles to catch the ball in tight spaces. So Western Kentucky knew that. So they fed him screen after screen after screen after mesh after mesh after mesh. Dude, to get this guy going, he's the best thing since sliced bread once he has the ball in his hands. Absolutely.
That's a good trait. That's a good trait, but the reason I want to stay away from it, I'm tired of the hopeful guy, bro. I just told y'all we got receivers on third rounds and stuff. I'm tired of them guys. I'm tired of hoping. I'm tired of hoping that he becomes somebody. Why we can't just draft him? We know if we get this dude in the second round, we know what to expect. It's expectations though. We hoping about these dudes in the thirds, bro. I did some research about the Jalen Tolbert draft, and I know a lot of people don't. You know, Jalen Tolbert came on the show, man. He's a good guy. This ain't got nothing to do with him as a person. We talking about him as a player, and we can clearly see that the Cowboys waited too late, bro. If you go back and look at that draft, Jalen Tolbert, after Jalen Tolbert, it was nobody else noteworthy. But Romeo Dobbs, he was the only person, and nobody expected him to do nothing. So, you see what I'm saying? He was unexpected. So, that's obvious evidence right there that the Cowboys waited too late to draft receiver. I don't want to even be nowhere near that no more. I want to go get somebody. Go get somebody who could pair with CeeDee Lamb. You got one of the best receivers in the league. Go get you a duo with him. Go get you somebody that can grow with CeeDee and your quarterback, even if you don't feel like it's Dak Prescott. Whoever you bring in will have, and then Brandon Cooks is gone next year.
And so CeeDee Lamb's about to probably sign, right? We hope a 5-year extension, right? And if he does that, you have a 5-year. If you draft him in the first, it's a 5-year rookie contract. You're set for the next 5 years.
Look, the whole thought process, man. I ain't trying to haul, but I get excited about this receiver stuff. Look, the whole thought process behind this is we know Dollar Bill, Stephen Jones is cheap. He don't want to do nothing in the wide receiver market. He's not finna pay nobody. What's the best way to get your dynamic weapon on the cheap?
Rookie deal.
Better than deal. This is what I'm thinking. This is why I feel that way. Yep.
See, every time Landlord get on somebody's channel, he sell everybody on receiver, bro. You a receiver salesman. You know how they come in with it, they come in there with that briefcase full of knives. He like, look, I got Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Yep.
I got Roma Dunze.
I got Jalen Polk. This the draft for it, man. It's really too many of these guys, man. It's too many of them. And you mean to tell me we gonna get? Just imagine that we don't draft a receiver, bro, and we get a dud in the second round. We gonna be sick because them dudes more than likely these receivers is finna go crazy.
So let me ask you, Landlord. You don't think that there's decent wide receivers in the later part of the round?
I do, but I don't trust. look, everything I'm thinking about, bro, I'm doing it far as the way that the Cowboys operate. I'm thinking about politics. Right. I'm thinking about everything. So
they're not gonna have a shot over Jalen Tolbert.
They're
not gonna have a shot over Jalen Brooks.
That's the only reason.
Turn.
You go get Javon Baker, they're gonna say, "Hey, Javon Baker, sit right here. We got Jalen Tolbert right here." They're gonna say, "Quez Walker." Yep. They're gonna say, "Tez Walker, you come sit over here." They're not gonna have the cachet to demand over the politics that the Cowboys have to offer. That's my only problem with it. So guess what? If you get somebody in the second or the first, you're not gonna play with them. You're gonna be like, okay, this guy is expected to start over Brandon Cooks and Jalen Tolbert and them. If you get somebody in the third, you're gonna be like, it's just a bunch of guys. Let's see what happens. I don't want that. No.
I don't know. We was excited about Gallup in the beginning.
We was. That's all we had. That's all we had. Give a man in the desert a cup of water, he's gonna be very happy. You know.
Yeah.
I agree with you as far as the politics thing and whatnot, but I will say I've got 18 wide receivers projected rounds 1 through 3. I think all 18 of them could give you more than what Jalen Tolbert's proven he can do thus far. So, but I think you're right about the way they'd handle that situation if they don't get ones really early. So that's a good point.
Say, see, we was right about Jalen Tolbert. We was right about Jalen Brooks. Any Jalen that you want to name, we got plenty of them on the team. Jalen Brooks, Jalen Marino Crawford, Jalen Tolbert. You're going to pick a Jalen, they're going to put him in front of him.
It'll be Jalen Wright.
Yeah, Jalen Wright, the running back. Yeah, might as well get him.
All right, guys. Well, look, it's been a blast, bro. Appreciate all y'all. Look, we done been on here for 30 minutes. Like, everybody got overtime today.
They got bonus content.
Absolutely. So, guys are going to watch the playback. This was excellent work, guys. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Everybody that has been riding with us. I know most of the people are on Twitter watching this right now. Hey, man, everybody, now I'll go by order or whatnot. It's not by, least to best or anything like that, but let everybody know where they can find you, starting with Landlord.
Already, man. Landlord from Alabama with the same handle on all social media. Y'all tap in for the win. Appreciate you, man, DMV.
Yes, sir. All right, Ben. Where can the people find you?
Right.
Yeah. On Twitter. You can see his naughty list, and you can see his yes sir list. You know what I'm saying? Like
I got up there. Right before the draft comes out, my draft report, I got full evals on 493 prospects, man. It's not specific to the Cowboys. It's just eval on the player itself. It's good information, I think, to make some of your own determinations. It's a spreadsheet, real easy to use on the computer. Y'all could, if you wanted to, look out for that. It's free. It's just something I do, and this year I'm gonna share it. So,
absolutely, man. Y'all tapping with Ben and my guy E2. Where can they find you, E2?
Well, like he said, E2blu Entertainment. On all platforms. IG, on my IG, you see all my roller skating videos and all my glory doing that as well. Yeah, E2blu. That's where you can find me at.
All right, man. Look, this was excellent, man. We gotta do this again sometime. Landlord, bro. It's a long time coming. I gotta go over to your show next time or something like that. Look, I'm gonna go over there, kick my shoes off.
You welcome.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With
Southern hospitality.
Trap stars over there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. E2, I've been watching you for a while too, man. I used to watch Mark way back, when he first started, and I used to see you on there, man. So
yeah, I remember you. I remember you from back even before you had your channel.
Yeah. I used to be in the comments. Yeah,
Landlord had the best comments, bro.
I'm proud of your growth, brother. You've been out here grinding and doing the damn thing, man.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, man. DMV, I'll real quick before we go, I want to appreciate you for having me on, man. I know I don't normally come out and do content stuff. This is all kind of new to me. So thanks for sticking with me through it. And I just appreciate you having me on, man. I'm a big fan of your work. I think you know ball, right? So I appreciate you, man.
No problem at all, man. I'm glad that I got to know you through the Twitter Spaces. So shout out to my guy Nix, because without Nix, hey, this relationship wasn't possible. shout out to Boss, because without Boss and you know what I'm saying, West Coast and all them, Landlord, we don't have this relationship here. And
Absolutely.
E2, shout out to Mark, because Mark got us started. So you
Yeah.
know, like I said on the final word, we're starting to come together. We're starting to create a voice for the Cowboys to where it's actually going to create an impact. So long as we stay together, man, a lot of things are possible. So appreciate
Absolutely.
everybody, man. I'm gonna put this outro video out and we're gonna head out, but I gotta find it first, man. Because look, I'm sitting here. I was
We
supposed to
do it
have it
live.
queued up, but we didn't got into the conversation so well that like I'm like, oh damn, I can't find it. But but yeah, I found it now, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Salute everybody, and we out.